So the difference of traditional therapies and addiction series like the 12-step AA counseling or any rehab or support groups that you've gone through are actually quite a few and very, very different. This is a totally different, say, animal on how to treat addictions, okay? One aspect is that those other modalities think that you are the disease. You have a disease that you can't get over. And whether that's true or not, sure. But when you label something, it makes it a deeper part of you, and that's the key. It makes you feel like there's an appendage that you can't get out of. But in the XI series, actually, it's just a frequency that you're running. Okay, it's more like, hey, you have this issue, and it's a frequency. It's like wearing this jacket, right? It's this jacket. It doesn't look good on you anymore. Maybe at the time it did, but it doesn't look good on you. You can easily take it off. And that's how easily, once you get to that point where you can actually understand that it's not part of you, it's not your identity at all, you can easily remove that. And that's the key, again, between XI addiction series and any of these other modalities. Although they're fantastic, they still are lacking, say, the deeper foundational frequencies that you need to get rid of your addictions for good. Second aspect of it is that most of those rehab programs, no matter what it is, even hypnosis, psychology, they create a workaround or sidestep on your issue. So what they do is that, yes, you have an issue, yes, it's real, and then what we do is, well, we bury it. Or we bury it, we hide it, we cover it up, we forget about it, we color it different things, we, whatever it is, it's still within us. It still resonates within us, right? We can't get away from it. It takes a lot of energy, right? As you know, it takes a lot of energy to keep that, say, sequestered or pushed down, right? It's in your every waking moment, even when you're sleeping. It's there. It's a part of your frequencies. What XI does is like, hey, instead of burying it, let's take a look at it. Let's observe it, where it comes from. And a lot of times from the research that I've done over hundreds of thousands of people, one-on-one interactions with people, that I've noticed that it's not even your addiction patterns. It could be your father's or your grandfather's or grandparents' addiction patterns, not even yours. So that's the first step with what XI uses, is that, hey, let's take a look at this and see if it's yours. And if it's not yours, is it worth keeping? And then if it's not worth keeping, let's create frequencies, or let's create, say, a solution that we can remove it, just like I can remove this jacket. It literally is that simple for you to remove addiction patterns if you are willing to let go of that jacket that you're wearing. When you create a workaround pattern, just like I discussed, where you bury it, right? You hide it, you color it something different, you refuse to acknowledge it. What happens is that, yes, you might resolve an addiction of, say, alcohol, but then that addiction transfers into something else, whether it's chocolate, whether it's abuse, whether it's physical exercise, or whether it's eating super clean, or whatever it might be. Again, it's a transference of that addiction. It's not a removal of that addiction. The reason why addictions transfer is because the underlying frequency, the underlying pattern that is deep within you was not removed by the rehab, counseling, or whatever else that you've tried. Simple as that. It's got nothing to do with you, by the way. Okay? We need to understand that it's got nothing to do with you. It's a programming issue. So what that means is that there's still a core level frequency or a core level issue deep within you at some level that hasn't been removed by whatever else that you've tried. The XI addiction series goes way deep inside you, way deep inside your psyche and beyond, into family hereditary patterns. It goes that deep, and it goes, this is where it comes from. And then once you realize that where it comes from, where you've inherited that pattern, we can easily start to remove it. And then once you start to remove it at the core level issue through the work of frequencies, that's where you have long-lasting or complete removal of your addiction pattern.